Good morning. We are discussing chemical equation and reactions. Okay. So one question is written on the board and I am going to answer it. Okay. So question is, when the solution of substance X is a substance. Okay. And question is, when the solution of substance X is added to a solution of potassium iodide. Okay. Then a yellow solid separates out from the solution. Getting it? A substance X is there, okay, and it is solution of the substance X, okay, and we are going to add potassium iodide into it, okay. Then after potassium iodide into solution of substance X, a yellow solid, okay, is separating out. Then what do you think substance X is likely to be? Means you have to answer name of the substance X. Okay. Okay, we have discussed this reaction and the reaction is, I told you, lead nitrate. Okay, lead nitrate plus potassium iodide gives out lead iodide PbI2, which is a precipitate, and color of this precipitate is yellow. So this is yellow precipitate, okay, and along with this potassium nitrate is formed. Okay, so what do you think substance X is likely to be? Okay, we are adding potassium iodide, so potassium iodide we are adding to potassium nitrate, so we will say X is potassium nitrate. X is PbNO3 whole 2. Okay, then come to second question. Name the substance which the yellow solid consists of. Yellow solid, I told you, it is the precipitate coming out from the product, okay, and this is PbI2. So yellow solid is PbI2. So this one is PbI2. Okay, lead iodide. Come to third part. Which characteristics of chemical reaction is illustrated by this example? I have told you chemical reaction is characterized by 5 properties. Okay, one is evolution of gas. Okay, then change in temperature, change in state, formation of precipitate. Getting or not? Okay. So from this reaction, okay, which characteristics is coming out? We say here it is formation of precipitate is taking place. Okay, so we say the characteristics shown here is the formation of precipitate. So its answer will be formation of precipitate, PPT in short. Okay, then finally write a balanced chemical reaction. Okay, for the reaction means we have to write a balanced chemical equation, okay, and then mention the physical states. So I am going to rub upper part. Okay, so it is PbNO3 whole 2 and it is aqueous because it is written solution of X, means it is aqueous. PbNO3 whole 2 plus Ki potassium iodide, again it is aqueous and it is giving out PbI2, which is a precipitate. So if it is a precipitate, then we say it is solid. That's why it is settling down and forming precipitate, and its color is yellow. Okay, yellow PPT, and along with KNO3 is forming lead nitrate. So this is the, and this lead nitrate again is aqueous. So the chemical reaction is PbNO3 whole 2, which is aqueous, plus Ki, which is again aqueous, okay, is forming a yellow precipitate PbI2, which is a solid, plus KNO3 aqueous. You have to balance this reaction. So come to the basics. I have taught you how to balance a chemical reaction, and I told you we will look for the metal first. At first we will be looking for the metal, then we will come to non-metal, then if oxygen is there, and finally if hydrogen will be there. So at first balance metal, then non-metal, okay, then after balancing non-metal you have to go back and check the means further you have to check if the metal is balanced or not. Again, then you have to balance oxygen after balancing non-metal, and finally if hydrogen is present there, then you have to balance hydrogen. So first thing is to balance the metal. So we are going to search metal. It is lead, Pb lead, and it is a metal, we know it. So here it is Pb, here it is Pb. So Pb means metal is balanced now, okay. Then come to the non-metal. Nitrogen is non-metal here, okay, and here NO3, nitrogen, again nitrogen is balanced here, okay. Then second non-metal is iodine, okay. So here it is PbI2, so write here 2, then it will become 2I. Now potassium will be 2, so put here 2 to balance potassium. Potassium is also a metal, you have to look for the potassium, okay. Then you can check other elements. Here nitrogen becomes 2, nitrogen is 2 here, okay. Lead is 1, iodine is 2, oxygen 2 into 3, 6, oxygen 2 into 3, 6. Now it is balanced, okay. So we will be discussing next topic. We have discussed combination reaction. Now we will be discussing decomposition reaction, okay. So put heading decomposition reaction. So our heading is decomposition reaction. What is decomposition reaction? Decomposition reaction is the type of reaction. Decomposition reaction is the type of reaction in which a substance, okay, mainly it is reactant, okay, a substance splits up or break down into simpler substances, Getting it? What is decomposition reaction? Decomposition reaction is the type of chemical reaction in which a substance gets splitted or gets broken into simpler substances, okay. This decomposition is carried out by, or the decomposition is carried out by applying heat or sunlight or passing electricity. So the decomposition is carried out by applying heat or sunlight or passing electricity through the substance. One more thing, decomposition reaction is just opposite of combination reaction. I told you combination reaction is the type of reaction in which two or more substances gets combined to form a new product or new substance, and in this case a substance is breaking down into simpler substances. So we say decomposition reaction is opposite of a combination reaction. Is it clear? Okay. Now come to next point. I told you the decomposition is carried out by applying heat or sunlight or passing electricity. Means one case we are applying heat, and in other case we are providing sunlight, and finally it is electricity, passing electricity by passing electricity. So the decomposition, okay, which is carried out by the application of heat is known as thermal decomposition. Getting me? The decomposition which is carried out by the application of heat, which is carried out by application of heat is called as thermal decomposition. Is called as thermal decomposition. Is it clear? I told you there is three way for the decomposition of a substance. First way is to supply heat. So the decomposition which is carried out by application of heat is known as thermal decomposition. Got it? Then the decomposition which is carried out by sunlight, decomposition which is carried out by sunlight is called as photo decomposition. Getting it? Two things. If the decomposition is carrying out by the application of heat, then it is called as thermal decomposition. And if the decomposition is carried out by the application of sunlight, okay, then it is known as photo decomposition. And finally, if the decomposition is carried out by passing electricity, okay, then it is termed as electrolysis. Okay. So three things are there. One type of decomposition is thermal decomposition, other type of decomposition is photo decomposition, and the other type of decomposition is electrolysis. Okay, one is carried out by heat, other is carried out by sunlight, and when decomposition is carried out by passing electricity, then it is named as electrolysis. So we will be discussing all these three types of decomposition reactions. So put heading thermal decomposition. Put put heading thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition. What is thermal decomposition? Decomposition which is carried out by the heat. Decomposition which is carried out by the heat is termed as thermal decomposition. Okay, so I am giving you some examples. It is calcium carbonate, CaCO3, very common. It is solid, and when you will heat this, you will write here heat over the arrow, or you can simply put a sign delta. This sign is known as delta. Delta means heat. Delta means you are heating. Okay, so calcium carbonate which is solid, and when you are giving heat to it, okay, supplying heat to it, then this calcium carbonate decomposes into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is also a solid. Carbon dioxide, you know, it is a gas. Okay, so this is example of thermal decomposition. Come to next example. It is KClO3. It is known as potassium chlorate. It is known as potassium chlorate. Okay, KClO3, when you will heat KClO3, then it will be decomposed, it will be broken into simpler substances, two simpler substances. Okay, one is KCl, okay, plus O2. Getting it? You have to balance this by yourself. Okay, you have to, means at home you try to balance this. Okay, I have taught you balancing, how to balance I have told you. Okay, so you have to balance this at your home by yourself. Okay, so this one is example of what? Thermal decomposition. All these are example of thermal decomposition. Okay, take some more examples. It is FeSO4. Okay, when we will heat this FeSO4, it is known as ferrous sulfate. It is known as ferrous sulfate. It is green in color. Ferrous sulfate is green in color. Okay, so ferrous sulfate, after getting heat, decomposes into ferric oxide, Fe2O3. It is called as ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide, which is a gas, and sulfur trioxide, which is also a gas. Okay, this Fe2O3 is known as ferric oxide, and this ferric oxide is green in color, sorry, brown in color. Okay, it is ferrous sulfate, and when we will heat ferrous sulfate, it will be decomposed, giving out ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide gas and sulfur trioxide, which is a gas. It means what? When you will heat FeSO4, ferrous sulfate, then you will come to smell burning smell of sulfur dioxide gas. Okay, what happens, actually this FeSO4 is present as FeSO4 dot 7H2O. Okay, its name is ferrous sulfate heptahydrate. 7 is there, and for 7 a word root hept is used, and H2O is hydrated is used for this H2O molecule. So ferrous sulfate, this one is ferrous sulfate, 7, so hepta, and H2O, for H2O it is hydrate. So its name is ferrous sulfate heptahydrate. Got it? Why heptahydrate? 7 H2O is there. Okay, to represent 7 hepta is used, and hydrate is representing H2O. Okay, so FeSO4 7 H2O. So whenever it is ferrous sulfate, actually ferrous sulfate is anhydrous. Ferrous sulfate is anhydrous. Means ferrous sulfate heptahydrate exists. Okay, you can simply get it in your laboratory. Okay, so ferrous sulfate heptahydrate, you can get it in your laboratory, and when you will heat this ferrous sulfate heptahydrate, then at first what happens, the water molecule present, okay, escapes. Okay, this water molecule vaporizes, and when this water molecule vaporizes, then what happens, we are hitting this now, then what happened, this H2O molecule escapes, vaporizes, so it forms FeSO4, which is anhydrous, So what do you mean by anhydrous? Anhydrous means water free. Okay, so this FeSO4 is used here, and this FeSO4 is green in color. Okay, actually FeSO4 7H2O is green in color. Okay, but we are writing here it is green in color. Okay, and this Fe2O3 is, I told you, brown in color. Okay, so this is also an example of thermal decomposition. Now I am going to give you other example. It is lead nitrate PbNO3 whole 2. So when you will heat lead nitrate, it will be decomposed into lead oxide PbO plus nitrogen dioxide NO2 plus oxygen. Okay, you just try to balance these equations. Okay, you balance it by yourself, and if you will face difficulty, then ask me in comment section. Okay, so this is other example of thermal decomposition. Lead nitrate, on the application of heat, decomposes into lead oxide and nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. You can take PCl5. It is phosphorus pentachloride. Okay, so PCl5 on the application of heat decomposes into PCl3 plus Cl2. Got it? So these were some examples of thermal decomposition. So thermal decomposition is clear to you now. What is thermal decomposition? Thermal decomposition is the type of decomposition which is carried out by the heat. Okay. Now we will be discussing electrolysis, which is very important. Okay, which is a good, means we say a good topic, and it is interesting too. Okay, so put heading electrolysis. at first I am going to define electrolysis. What is electrolysis? Electrolysis is the decomposition of an electrolyte decomposition of